All right, everyone, welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something that's really going to shape how we work together and achieve incredible things. It's a framework called Objectives and Key Results, or just OKRs. You can think of it as our playbook for turning big ambitions into real, tangible results. So let me ask this question. As we've grown, this has become the most important thing to think about. We've got so many amazing, talented people here doing fantastic work. But is all that energy pointed at the same North Star? That's the core problem OKRs are designed to solve.
So yeah, why are we doing this now? The simple answer is we've grown. You know, when we were a tiny team, we could all just run on gut feeling and it worked. But now that we're a team of 85, gut feeling just isn't enough to keep us all aligned. We need a real system to bring discipline and focus to our work.
When we adopt OKRs, we're really building on three huge pillars. First up is transparency. This means everyone can literally see what every other team is working towards. No more silos. Second, alignment. This ensures that the work you do, day in and day out, is directly connected to the company's biggest goals. And finally, and this is a big one, focus. This is all about changing our culture from celebrating being busy to celebrating actual measurable results. Okay, so what in the world is an OKR? Let's break it down into its core components. It's actually surprisingly simple, and it's made up of three parts that just work together perfectly. First, you've got the objective. Just think of this as the destination. It's that dot on the horizon. It should be short, memorable, and honestly, it should get you a little excited. And here's the crucial part. An objective should never have numbers in it. It's all about the what. Where are we trying to go? Okay, so if the objective is our destination, how do we know we're actually making progress? Well, that's where key results come in. These are your signposts, your mile markers along the journey. This is where the numbers live. A good key result is always measurable and tells you without a doubt if you're on the right track. It answers that simple question: how will we know we got there? And the final piece of the puzzle is the initiative. Now, this is the part we're all already experts at. These are your projects, your to-do lists, the actual work we all do every single day. Initiatives answer the question, what will we do to get there? They're the actions we take, hoping to move the needle on our key results.
So this chart kind of brings it all home. See the flow? The objective is your inspirational what. The key result is how you measure that what with cold, hard data. And the initiative is the how, the specific tasks and projects you're going to launch to drive those numbers.
All right, everybody, if you only take one single thing away from this whole training, please let it be this. This is the single most important, number one mindset shift for making OKRs actually work. It's all about focusing on outcomes, not outputs. Let me give you an analogy. The output would be a surgeon performing a technically perfect operation. I mean, every cut is precise, every stitch is a work of art. The task was completed flawlessly. But is that what really matters? No way. The outcome we actually care about is that the patient is healed and healthy.
So what really matters more? Having a perfectly executed to-do list where every single item is checked off, or achieving the actual result we were aiming for in the first place? This is the fundamental question that OKRs force us to confront every single day.
Let's look at some real-world examples here. The before column, that's a classic to-do list. Produce 10 episodes, identify an audience. It's all about doing stuff. Now look at the after column. This is all about the impact of that stuff. Instead of just producing episodes, the goal is to attract 200 live viewers. See the difference? We're no longer measuring the work, we're measuring the result of the work. Okay, so we've got the theory down. We understand the components and the big mindset shift. So now, let's talk about how this all actually works day to day, the philosophy behind putting OKRs into practice. Now, this next point might feel a little counterintuitive at first, but it is absolutely essential to how OKRs work. We are not just encouraged, but expected to set really ambitious stretch goals. We're supposed to shoot for the moon. And here's why that matters. In the world of OKRs, hitting 70% of a really ambitious goal is considered a huge success. The point isn't just to hit a number you knew you could hit. The point is to push ourselves, to think bigger, to figure out what it would take to achieve something that seems just a little bit out of reach. Now, I want to be clear. This is not a system where leadership just dictates every single goal. The best process is a healthy mix. The company-level OKRs create that top-down alignment, making sure we're all rowing in the same direction. But the team OKRs? Those are built from the bottom up. That's what creates the motivation and creativity that comes from owning your own destiny. Okay, and this is non-negotiable, so please listen closely. OKRs should never, ever be tied to your performance review or your compensation. They are a tool for us to align and be transparent, not a weapon for evaluation. I mean, think about it. If your bonus was tied to hitting 100%, would you ever set an ambitious goal again? Of course not. The whole system would fall apart. So, what's the rhythm of all this? Well, we'll generally operate on two timelines. First, we'll set annual OKRs for the entire company. These are our big rocks, our North Star for the year. And then, within that, each team will set their own quarterly OKRs. These are the concrete, focused goals that help us get a little bit closer to that big annual vision, one quarter at a time. All right, we're almost there. To finish up, let's talk about the common traps, the mistakes that everyone makes. If we know what they are up front, we have a much better chance of avoiding them and making this work right from the start. So you've got to watch out for these three big types of mistakes. First, there are scoping errors. That means setting way too many OKRs or choosing goals you can't actually influence. Then you've got mindset errors. That's when you accidentally write your to-do list as your key results. And finally, execution errors, the most famous one being set it and forget it, where you write these beautiful OKRs and then don't look at them again for 3 months. Look, I need everyone to remember that nobody gets this perfect on the first try. It's like building a new muscle. It's totally normal for our first quarter doing this to be a little messy. That's okay. The second quarter will be better, and by the third, I promise it's really going to start to click. The key is that we're committing to learning and improving together. So to wrap this all up and get you started thinking, I want to leave you with one final question. I want you to go back to your teams and forget your to-do list for just a minute. Ask yourselves, what is the one single outcome that, if we could achieve it this quarter, would be a massive, total game changer for us? That feeling right there, that's the heart of a great OKR. And that's where you begin.